Okay. Hasanabi heads rise up. All right, let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen. In the Dark Brandon versus Donald Trump saga, we have reached another level, okay? As you know, Mar-A-Lago was raided. Why was it raided? Because the FBI asked nicely and gently and kindly to take back some classified documents that Donald Trump was not supposed to have, that he refused to give back. Yesterday, we found out that he refused to give those documents back on counsel by Tom Fitton, who is not a lawyer and has an English degree, I believe. But Tom Fitton's legal advice had decided to, tell Donald Trump to keep the fucking classified material and not give it back. He didn't give it back. And some other interesting things happened in this process. They released a search warrant. That made Trump look bad. So then Trump was like, I want the affidavit, which is kind of like saying, oh, I know Obama released his birth certificate, but now we want the long form birth certificate. You know what I mean? So then they went back to the magistrate court. The same guy, Bruce Reinhardt, I believe his name is, or whatever the fuck the guy's name is. The same magistrate court that had signed off on the search warrant to go into Mar-A-Lago to retrieve the documents decided, sure, we can allow a redacted affidavit to be released because this is an extraordinary circumstance. This is an extraordinary circumstance. A former president being raided by the FBI is an extraordinary circumstance. So obviously, this is in the public's interest. Now, of course, the affidavit will include key details about an investigation, so they can't show the affidavit in its entirety. It would leak and reveal civilians that they're using, people that they're actually people that are fundamentally important, that are within the Trump administration, that are key witnesses. You know what I mean? It'll reveal what the investigation is before the investigation is concluded. And that way, we know Donald Trump loves tampering with investigations. Donald Trump could have a better shot at stopping this or obstructing justice, right? So all of that happened. And after Bruce Reinhardt decided you should be able to release this redacted affidavit, today was the final day and they released it. Now, simultaneously, there's another thing happening here that I think is really, really, really important. Okay? What I find really interesting about the affidavit itself or the conversation itself is that Trump and his crackpot team of lawyers, his television lawyers that aren't even like real lawyers. They got like Phoenix law degrees, okay? Phoenix University online law degrees. Are also simultaneously at a separate court currently trying to stop the FBI from opening up the classified documents. Like they're trying to block the FBI from opening the classified documents that Trump took. They're like, come on, just don't open them. Just please. They are trying to stop the FBI. They went judge shopping, and they're trying to stop the FBI from literally conducting its investigation and finding what kind of classified details are hidden in this treasure trove that they were able to recover from Mar-A-Lago, which I find particularly interesting. If there was nothing there, why would you try to stop the FBI from conducting an investigation? Also, asking a judge to be like, hey, I know that there's an ongoing investigation into me right now, but I found another judge that's more favorable to me. And so I'm going to ask that judge to just basically stop the federal investigation from being conducted is a really cool legal technique. Don't think it would work, but who knows? It's Donald Trump. Anyway. Without further ado, here is Lester Holt in all of his glory describing the Justice Department releasing the affidavit used for the Trump home search warrant. Bolshevik98, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Before we get into that, I'm going to run the first ad break right now. Okay? At the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. You can also get gifted a sub. Trump's Mar-A-Lago made. Allowed 5 people to no longer see the ads. Thank you. Bolshevik98, another 5. X-Blaze-It Jesse and Joyous Pancake with another 5. And Econ Mang with the 10 gifted subs. And Comrade Silly Goose with another 10 gifted. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Let's get started.
Breaking news about the recent FBI search of former President Donald Trump's Florida estate. The affidavit that was used to obtain the search warrant has just been publicly released. A judge yesterday ruled it must be made public. And just now, the government filed a redacted copy of that affidavit, so there's still a lot of information in it that will remain hidden, as it could reveal sources and hamper the Justice Department's investigation. But there is a lot that it does reveal about why the FBI felt they needed to do the search. I want to go right now to Ken Delaney, an NBC News Justice correspondent. Ken, you've had a few minutes to go through this and try to read around the redactions. What are some of the early takeaways?
Good afternoon, Lester. Well, the first takeaway comes from not from the affidavit itself, but from the 13-page memorandum of law that the DOJ filed to the judge to justify why they had to redact certain key information. And they talk about witnesses. And there's a crucial line in here that it said that the witness information needs to remain sealed to protect the safety and privacy of a significant number of civilians.
I love this, dude. He's like, come on! We need to hear these witnesses. Why are you not showing me who the witnesses are? Yeah, affidavit. By the way, yes, I misspell affidavit only on my Twitch stream. On my Twitch stream title on purpose, deliberately, because I think that it's a fun way to get people to click on the stream to be like, you wrote it wrong. I know. Yeah. You're duped. You're duped into coming in here every time I do that. It's literally on purpose. I mean, I write it correctly in every other place. On the Instagram story, on fucking Twitter, every other place I write it correctly. I've been doing it for 2 days. It's copium? Sure. I mean, I don't give a fuck. As long as you're in here watching, I literally do not care if you think it's real or if you think it's fake. That's the point.
In witnesses. Now, that's significant because there's been a lot of reporting about a single informant, a confidential human source. What this shows is that there was no one particular source that was crucial to the FBI determining probable cause in this case. They're saying there are a significant number of civilian witnesses whose identities they need to protect.
Yeah, there are. Apparently, there's information in there that's like information in there that is specific to you know, like highly classified personnel. Okay, viewers left after you said that about affidavit spelling 2K salty Andes. No, it's because I ran the top of the hour ad break. That always changes the number drastically because people leave. They don't want to see the ad. You are correct. I joked about the gym. I'm only at being for men because there is 99% men working out there. See, I told you. Knut wants everyone to work out. He doesn't think only men should work out. He wants women's to work out too. He wants everyone to be jacked and hit the gym. It was just joking.
And then I have to tell you, Lester, most of the information in which the FBI agent lays out the probable cause, the really juicy stuff, explaining the legal justification for the search, is completely blacked out. This page really tells the tale. There's a line here that says there is probable.
By the way, we knew that this was going to be the case for like a week now, for 2 weeks now. We have been saying time and time again that, like, yeah, the fucking affidavit is going to be incredibly redacted. Because no one is going to cuck their own investigation. Like, it doesn't work that way. You can't just be like, hey, I know we're conducting an investigation into you, but since you asked nicely, we're just going to show you exactly what we're doing. Like, why would you fucking reveal your hand?
Cause to believe that documents containing classified NDA, that's national defense information, and presidential records remain at the premises. But obviously, they're not telling us what that is. But what they do tell us, and what we do learn from what's not redacted here, Lester, is more details about just how highly classified some of this information that they found in jail.
I love this because, like, every time Trump is like, come on, reveal more information. I dare you. And he's like secretly behind the scenes, he's like, please don't reveal more information. Right? He's like, come on, do it. Reveal more information. Do it. You won't. And then they're like, okay. He'll be like, okay, here it is. Oh yeah, I wrote affidavit wrong on Twitter as well. You got me, Mango JPEG. Bro, I love Mango JPEG for being what do you call it? For being one of those guys who like always will call out people who are brain broken, or they're like, oh dude, it's just semantics, like chill out. But then he's literally doing it. Being a spelling and grammar Nazi is literally like, it's clickbait. It serves the exact same purpose on Twitter as well. Like, I don't think you realize what you're doing. As long as you're in here, it doesn't matter. I won that. Anyway, it's cool. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I spelled it wrong. If you want to believe that I spelled it wrong, who cares? What was I saying? It's so irrelevant to the main conversation. You guys are so dumb. Oh God, you fucked me up. Holding the streamer accountable. Oh yeah, he was like. So he was basically saying like, okay, reveal it. And then secretly on the side, his legal team is like, please don't reveal it. Just don't reveal it. Because they have access to, not the affidavit, but they had access to the search warrant. They didn't reveal the search warrant when they were like, come on, pussy, DOJ, reveal it. And then every time the DOJ reveals more elements of the investigation, it makes him more fucking guilty. Like every time the DOJ's like, well, yeah, actually, we found out that there's like, the nuclear football was stolen. And he's like, oh, well, not like that. Don't reveal it like that. And then Republicans have to like figure out a new way to just basically post hoc patch what Donald Trump was saying and then turn it into like a viable strategy of deflection. They'll be like, oh yeah, well, who cares if everybody has a nuke anyway? I think everyone should have a nuke. It's like the Second Amendment. You know what I mean? Like every week there's new information coming out that makes him look worse. And then when new information comes out that makes him look worse, Republicans that were defending him at first by saying, what if they planted the documents? What if he declassified those documents himself? Even if they were fucking planted, he, I guess, declassified them because he's still the president. What if the documents actually had no important information in them? Okay, what if the important information was there, but also at the same time, it's not that important? We've decided that it's not important right now. At a certain point, it's going to get down to like, these were like literally targets for assassination by the CIA, and Trump just kept those files for no reason. And they'll still be like, well, CIA, if Donald Trump wanted to show every dentist at Mar-A-Lago who the CIA targets wanted for assassination were, that's totally adequate and not a compromise to national security in any meaningful capacity. They're just going to keep moving the fucking goalposts. There's nothing that Donald Trump could do that Republicans will turn around and say, well, that was fucked up. He should not do that. It's just not going to happen. Okay? But you know who fucking wins? We do, because this is fun content, okay? Straight up. Conservatives are too dumb to notice this backpedaling. I don't think it's just that they're dumb. They're also like incredibly motivated to just love Trump and defend Trump. They just really like they don't really care. They care more about like Trump, who they believe is a beacon for their resentment towards America, and a really good vector of their anger. They just want him to win. You know what I mean? They just like him, and they think like he's their guy. You know, he has their best interests at heart. And even if there's like so much evidence that that is not the case, they don't care as long as like libs are fucking being triggered or whatever. Haha, lol. Oh, did you give the secret sauce of like enriching uranium to Saudi Arabia? Who cares if they did 9/11? Fucking 9/11 was sick, actually. Fucking Lipdart City, burned into the ground. You know what I mean? They didn't do it in Mississippi, where I'm from. Like there's no amount of like. They will literally say anything, as long as it is, as long as it's still, in defense of Donald Trump.
January in Mar-a-Lago is. So if you'll recall, Trump and his lawyers turned over 15 boxes of records to the National Archives, and they found classified information in those boxes. What this document now says is the FBI found 184 unique documents bearing classification markings, including 67 documents marked as confidential, 92 marked secret, and 25 marked top secret. But beyond that, Lester, there were markings that denote some of the most sensitive information in the government. One is called HCS, Human Control System. That's a designation for a report by a CIA officer or other human source collector of an interview with a confidential source overseas. In other words, a spy. These documents are so sensitive, they are never found outside a special facility to house classified information. They generally don't leave the agency itself, but they are sometimes handed to a president in a very highly classified intelligence briefing as an example of the kind of intelligence.
Bro, why did he take that? That's so funny. Dude, like, why did he take that? He's just like, this is a spy. It's so cool. Like, what the fuck? I need to understand why he was like, this is such cool information. The most moist doctors at Mar-A-Lago and used car dealership owners are going to think I'm so cool. Like, did he do like a fucking, grab bag type thing? Like those TikTok live streams where they just like dip the fucking thing into a pool of crystals. You know what I mean? They dip the scoop into a pool of crystals and it's just like, oops, some of them were really, really some of them were really top secret. It was during the devious lick era. TikTok. They were doing devious licks. That's why I did it. Kids, they were stealing the soap dispenser at schools. Believe me, they were stealing the soap dispensers at schools. So I stole top secret documents
that he sees in his daily briefing. Sometimes the briefers want to tell him exactly where it came from, and they would hand him this kind of document.
Yeah, here. A major point here, the FBI found documents marked HCS, which refers to clandestine human sources who risk their lives to provide information to the U.S. government. We live in an era where the government has redacted the names of the career FBI special agents and court records to protect their and their families from death threats fueled by conspiracy theorists. He's just showing them where George Bush was on Dallas, November 22nd, in 1963 was the problem. Dude, that would be so sick if he did that. That would be so fucking sick. But it's not. It's just not cool. You know what I mean? It's not going to be that cool. It's either going to be here. You know what it is? It's either going to be like so that Jared Kushner could make like $2 billion basically selling like his real estate properties that were never going to fucking ever be sold to anyone else because they're like in a state of disrepair or something to some fucking Saudi royals. Or it's going to be because an even funnier reason, which is he just grabbed as many fucking top secret documents as he could just to just like, flex and show it to people. And didn't realize that some of those had like really, really important information in them. Or the liberal blue anon attitude is that he took all of that because he's Vladimir Putin's puppet or something. Or, I mean, to be fair, not that he's like Vladimir Putin's puppet or something, but he could have just like taken as many top secret documents as possible because he thought he could have leverage in the future. Whether it's leverage from a foreign entity or leverage from the U.S. government. Like, I can see him thinking that he's going to do that. Like, he's going to be like, yeah, in the future, believe me, when they come for me, I will tell them I have so many secrets. I have so many secrets. The most secrets, they say. You know what I mean? Like, I can use the secrets against the government. I think he took them as to use his props to make it seem like his office is way more important than it is. The White House South. I mean, yeah. Stole documents that barter to not be prosecuted with? No, I mean like... Because I just gave you basically 4 different alternative reasons as to why Trump might have taken these documents. and then refused to give them back. I think the funniest part about it is his refusal to give them back, though, obviously, because when they asked for it, like, why did you refuse to give important, like, really important pieces of information back? Like, that is, what the fuck are you doing? Like, they asked nicely. The funniest part about it is, like, the FBI incompetence in this situation is not because they did a raid on Mar-A-Lago. The FBI incompetence comes from the fact that they thought Donald Trump would not be so psychotic that he would just give it back if they asked nicely. Because they asked nicely. They were like, come on, dude, what the fuck? Oh, you got some top secret documents, bro. Like, we need it back. Like, we don't even know what the fuck's in them. Like, what are you doing? Like, you can't have this. No longer president, you know what I mean? And he was like, no, we'll keep it. We'll keep it. They will never know. Where did you see that they asked nicely? Legally speaking, a subpoena is quite literally asking nicely. So for those of you who don't know, a subpoena is sent instead of a search warrant when you believe the person is going to cooperate. It's and they did actually ask nicely, and Trump actually went in and seemingly was cooperating with the ongoing investigation and the subpoena, but refused to give some of these documents that they had to retrieve forcibly and extract forcibly, which makes it even funnier. Like, if Trump had never cooperated with the subpoena, that would still be grounds for a search warrant. Remember, what they are talking about are the documents he gave back. These are the documents in the 15 boxes he gave back earlier this year. We didn't know anything about until now. This is not what they took from the raid earlier in August. Oh, this is the 15 boxes provided to NARA contain classified information? No, I don't. Oh, this is, yeah. Oh, this is, yeah, from May 16th to 18th. This is when he was cooperating. This is the stuff that he gave back, that he took, that he gave back when they asked nicely. Yes, that's right. Thank you for the clarification. From May 16th to the 18th, 2022, FBI agents conducted a preliminary review of the 15 boxes provided in NARA and identified documents with classification markings in 14 of the 15 boxes. A preliminary triage of the documents with classification markings revealed the following approximate numbers. 184 unique documents bearing classification markings, including 67 documents marked as confidential, 92 documents marked as secret, and 25 documents marked as top secret. I read the affidavit, and it talks about how none of the classified documents were in their folders and mixed with random unimportant shit. Honestly, it just seems like Trump is a memento hoarder. That's the best one. That is, out of all of the fucking things that could have possibly happened, him doing this because he's a hoarder is the funniest outcome. I didn't know, but it's like, why didn't you give it back? But what we do know is that Trump is trying right now in a federal court, in a separate federal court, actively stop the FBI from opening the other classified documents that they retrieved from Mar-A-Lago. It's for a scrapbook. My time as president. The best thing about this is bad things are happening to bad people finally, dude. No, it's so funny. It's so funny. It's such a perfect way. It's a perfect story because, like, you have the classic villain, okay? And all of the other awful people that love Donald Trump are so angry about it, and they constantly find themselves in a situation where they have to be like, oh, okay, well, maybe there was nuclear information, but that's okay. That Trump can have that and can give it to whoever he wants. Like, every week, whenever there's new information that comes out, they keep fucking having to say, like, well, it's all right. The fact that him stealing these classified docs could have been solved with little Marie Kondo in his life is very hilarious. Yes.
document. We're also seeing the designation ORCON for originator control. That means the agency issuing the report controls who sees the document. No foreign, which means intelligence that is so sensitive it can't be shared with foreign nationals. Even our closest allies, the British or the Australians, can't be shared. And FISA, which refers to the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, and SI, which refers to signals intelligence. That's the fruits of communications intercept. So very, very highly classified documents that were found.
Again, just remember, on the one hand, Donald Trump is saying, like, release the affidavit. On the other hand, he's getting his lawyers to ask a U.S. judge to temporarily block the FBI from reviewing the documents recovered from the ex-president's Florida home. Lawyers from Donald Trump have asked a federal judge to prevent the FBI from continuing to review documents recovered earlier this month from the former U.S. president's Florida home until a neutral special master is appointed to inspect the records. The request was included in a court filing on Monday, the first by Trump's legal team since the search at Mar-A-Lago on August 8th that takes a broad aim at the FBI investigation into the discovery of classified records from the estate. The motion filed in federal court in West Palm Beach, Florida, also asked investigators to return any items outside of the scope of the search warrant. Politics cannot be allowed to impact the decision, the administration of justice, the filing stated, adding, I don't know why I'm saying it like Donald Trump wrote it. Law enforcement is a shield that protects Americans. It cannot be used as a weapon for political purposes. The filing specifically requests the appointment of a special master not connected to the case who would be tasked with inspecting the records recovered from Mar-a-Lago and setting aside those that are covered by executive privilege, a principle that permits presidents to withhold certain communications for public disclosure. Brother, you're not the president anymore. Excuse me, fake news, excuse me. You're not allowed to look at my documents. You're not allowed. Do not read them. FBI, do not read them. Excuse me. It's wonderful. Trump reacted to the affidavit, by the way. You will love this. Affidavit heavily redacted. Nothing mentioned on nuclear, a total public relations subterfuge by FBI and DOJ. Someone has the clip. I literally said, clip this. Donald Trump, once the affidavit is released, is going to say it's heavily redacted. What are they hiding? They have nothing. And what are they hiding? I literally fucking said this verbatim. I know one of you motherfuckers clipped it. Yeah. Nuclear, a total public relations subterfuge by the FBI and DOJ, or our close working relationship regarding the document turnover. We gave them much. Judge Bruce Reinhardt should never have been allowed the break-in of my home. He recused himself 2 months ago from one of my cases based on his animosity and hatred of your favorite president, me. What changed? Why hasn't he recused himself on this case? Obama must be very proud of him now. Only 36K likes, he fell off. Brother, this is Truth Social. What the fuck are you talking about? That's like everyone that is on that platform. You know that? I bet like Truth Social it requires you to like automatically like Donald Trump. Like Donald Trump's fucking posts by design. Like when you sign up for a Truth Social account, like you like every single Donald Trump post. Anyway, Yeah. Get back to it.
In these 15 boxes that were turned over to the National Archives, which, as we know, prompted the archives to refer the matter to the Justice Department, which then launched a criminal investigation, which led many months later to them to seek this warrant. And now we have the FBI, or at least a partial version of the FBI agent's justification to the judge for why he sought this search warrant.
And Ken, I'm looking through it just very quickly here. Lots of references to the location of this. Is Donald Trump or others who might be suspects in this, are they named?
No, not that I can see here. Not at all. We don't see that. But to your point, there's an interesting paragraph on page 29 amid all these a sea of black ink and redactions that talks about the location of documents. And we already know from the search warrant that they searched the president's office and some other areas, the former president's office at Mar-a-Lago. This says specifically, based on this investigation, I believe that the storage room, F. POTUS's residential suite, that's F. POTUS, former president of the United States, Pine Hall, the 45 office, and other spaces within the premises are not currently authorized locations for the storage of classified information or NDI, National Defense Information. So essentially, this suggests this is where we believe some of these classified documents have been stored. Obviously, these are not secure locations. And it's very significant that they use the term NDI because one of the statutes implicated here is the Espionage Act, Lester. And the Espionage Act was written before the modern classification system. So it doesn't require technically that the information was classified, but it requires that it's national defense information, which most classified information is. And so the FBI agent here is suggesting that what's implicated here is national defense information pursuant to the Espionage Act.
Okay. Thanks.
Ousted Florida data scientist Rebecca Jones wins House primary and will face Matt Gaetz. Good luck.
President.
Okay. So that's what we have on the affidavit side. You look like you smell really good. I do smell fucking incredible. I'll keep it $150 with you. I smell really good. Yes. This one's funny as fuck too. No idea if you saw the Carl Ortega. Affidavit paragraph 25 put more simply, Trump is a liar. On February 18th, 2022, the archivist of the United States, Chief Administrator for NARA, stated in a letter to Congress's Committee on Oversight and Reform Chairwoman, the Honorable Carolyn Maloney, NARA had ongoing communications with the representatives of former President Trump throughout 2021, which resulted in the transfer of 15 boxes of NARA in January 2022. NARA has identified items as classified national security information within the boxes. The letter also stated, because NARA identified classified information in the boxes, NARA staff has been in communication with the Department of Justice. The letter was made publicly available at the following uniform resource locator. On February 18, 2022, the same day, the Save America Political Action Committee posted the following statement on behalf of F. POTUS. The National Archives did not find anything they were given upon request presidential records in an ordinary and routine process to ensure the preservation of my legacy, and in accordance with the Presidential Records Act, an image of this statement is below. It's like taking the banker's boxes full of fraud evidence from a failing business, something Trump would know all about. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, Donald Trump, this is how he operated for so long. And he was able to continue operating this way when he was in the White House because of the media apparatus that backed him, because of the godlike powers that America affords the president. You know what I mean? So that's partially the reason why I think he thought he could fucking get away with this shit. Like, it's just the same level of entitlement that like all the fucking hogs and hoglets and hogalinas had at January 6th, thinking that they could storm the halls of Congress and like beat the shit out of cops and live stream themselves in the process. Because what the fuck are people gonna do? This is our country. This is our government. You know what I mean? Like, what are they going to do? You feel me? I love living in Idiocracy timeline. So much good content. I know. Newsmax is running with the story that the redactions are cancel culture. Dude, shut the fuck up. That's so good.
Redacted means cancel. Okay, so they canceled the affidavit. That is the most.
Bro, remember when Marjorie Taylor Greene said abortions are cancel culture? You're canceling the fetus. That's when I knew dumb motherfuckers are just gonna say like cancel culture trumps and is like a worse thing in the eyes of Republicans than actual murder, because abortions are supposed to be murder. If you're pro-life, you believe abortions are murder, right? So if you're using cancel culture as an appropriate substitute to murder, then you're saying like cancel culture is a better way to reframe fucking literal baby murder, right? You think that's worse than literal baby murder. That's why they're using it for everything else.
Means cancel. Okay, so they canceled the affidavit. That is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen there. That's like FBI in your face. I mean, redacted means cancel. Okay, so they canceled the affidavit. That is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen there. That's
lessening the impact at the same time. Yeah, but no, it's not. Only to you libtards who love cancel culture. It's actually strengthening it for brave American patriots who know cancel culture is the worst thing. It's literally worse than baby murder, which is also the worst thing.
They would have.
Republicans are like, the only cancellation that they don't like is student loan debt. Okay? They like all matter. The only thing that they... Well, maybe that's why they hate student loan debt cancellation. They hate cancel culture.
Somebody who, had said, in essence, you have been misled, whether it was a deliberate lie or a lie based in ignorance. Somebody told you there's no more classified material here. There is classified material here.
Carl, Jonathan Turley was just joining us a moment ago, and he said, yes, the affidavit does confirm a couple points that it did appear in the leaks that we have seen come from the press throughout this process. But he also says the affidavit did not establish that the Trump people were wholly uncooperative or non-communicative, while noting that they were asked to turn over material and did not do so. There seems to be still a huge piece missing there in the timeline, and the affidavit doesn't appear to clear that up. Going back to the New York Post headline in the middle of all of this, you could have just asked.
Well, first of all, I agree with Jonathan Turley about the leaks. They are very troubling. This is what we don't want to see out of a process like this. But look, it is clear that beginning sometime in early 2021 through January of 2022, the NARA, the National Archives and Records Administration, was continually asking for the return of all material. The Presidential Record Act is clear. A president does not have the right to leave the White House and pick and choose what documents he wants to take with him. He can ask for copies, but those are the property of the American people. And since 1978, no president has left with sort of picking and choosing their own documents. So they were asking. How many times, we don't know, but the impression in the affidavit is that they asked for it multiple times, and in January were given material back. They again begin to ask, the federal government begins to ask the former president for return of anything else he has there, and they know there's material there. I mean, they go on June 3rd and view the boxes of material. They have a general sense of how many boxes are there. So, maybe we ought to ask the government, how many times did you ask for the return of the material? And President Trump has said several times, all they had to do was ask.
Stop saying Karl Rove spitting. What the fuck? Karl Rove has never spit anything but bile, okay? Just because he's on the right side of this does not mean anything, okay? This is typical. These conservatives love doing this shit. There is a very real movement within the conservative party that considers Donald Trump to be a liability for this sort of reason, this exact reason. They love Donald Trump. They love his policies. They love how he captivates an audience. They're just kind of jealous that he's not able to captivate the audience in the same way, or their guy is not able to do it, which is why they kind of want to hedge Ron DeSantis in. Ron DeSantis is a political. Ron DeSantis is a political being. Okay, he is a very much a part of the political system. He's a part of the machine. Trump, in some ways, is a liability because he could just be like volatile. He could just like pop off and say random shit. Okay? That's the only main difference they have.
Well, my sense is they were asking for a year and a half. And why he was holding on to these materials when he had no legal authority to do so under the Presidential Records Act is beyond me.
All right, Karl Rove, with his thoughts on that. Karl, we appreciate it. We may come back to you depending on how the afternoon unfolds. Right now, let's go back to David Spelman.
What a time to be alive. This is not a real Chanel hand. Oh, come on, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious? I mean, that's cool as fuck, but also at the same time, like, what use does that... I mean, I don't understand. If you get shot by that, you gay. Oh, no! Yeah. This is... I thought it was going to be cake. I get it. CC, concealed carry. Lil Uzi Vert wasn't playing when, not he, they said they got a gun in their purse. Yeah. Yeah, Lil Uzi, they, them, vertical. More like a purse on his gun. It's for guards to conceal their weapon mostly, or for people to collect. I mean, it's a Nerf gun, I think, and it doesn't even matter. It's just like, this is so... I don't think people are gonna like buy this in bulk to do mass shootings. I don't know if you need a $10,000 Transformer Blicky. You need like 30 secs to pop off. Libertarian Party posted this. I saw it's really funny. To be fair, like this is kind of a funny image. I mean, this is a funny image in and of itself, made only funnier by the Libertarian Party posting it. Rare W for the Libertarians. You know, rare W for the Libertarians. What the fuck? Why am I trending now? What the fuck did I do now? God damn it. Okay, nothing. Aren't they supposed to be anti-war? I think that's why. The international Asian rich kids pulling up to America with that after they hear about the shootings. Guys, stop posting the Libertarian British table. We already watched it. It's disgusting. I don't want to see more of that, okay? Anyway, so we have the affidavit now. We now know that the Trump is like separately trying to stop the affidavit from, or not the affidavit, but the actual new materials that he sent over to the FBI from being seen by the FBI. He wants a special, outside person to conduct the investigation, which is pretty cool. And Chav, we got to get him to randomly trend as just a good guy and really derail him. That would break my brain. Here is Donald. Here is Dark Brandon. Okay, popping off about Margarine Titan Green. Let's take a look.
to be able to start businesses, to do the things that need to be done. And I found it absolutely fascinating that some of the folks who were talking about this is big spending are the same people that got $158,000 in PPP money, including what's her name? That woman who believes in the, anyway, a whole lot of Republicans who got a lot.
Damn. Yo, who Omegalol Marjorie Titan Green, bro. That's crazy. He just said, who Omegalol? Hit the road, Jack. You know, that woman who believes in, he was about to say Jewish space lasers and he didn't say it. You know, that stuck with him. That was like the only thing that he remembers of. That was the only memory he was able to form around Marjorie Taylor Greene. And his broken brain just remembers that. He was like, it's just, what's her name? Whatever.
A lot of money. The very people criticize him. So it's just not, I think it's a good thing. It frees a lot of people up. It's going to grow the economy. We still have a way to go, but I'm optimistic.
Mr. President.
Borrow money.
If I could remember only one thing about Marjorie Titan Green, it would most likely be her kipping, as she's doing like the worst CrossFit pull-ups I've ever seen in my entire life. Or probably that photo that is burned permanently into my mind where she looks unironically exactly like the Titan that ate. No, it's just the mom, the Titan that's like the bald one's mom. Smiling one.
Biden is going on the offensive as the crucial midterm elections approach. During a Democratic rally.
Yeah, he's attacking, dude. He's on the attack. He's pouncing.
In Maryland last night, he put abortion rights front and center, and he criticized Trump supporters, calling, quote, MAGA Republicans a threat to our very democracy, close quote. Nancy Cordes is at the White House for us. Nancy, this is a decision by the Biden team. Good morning.
It sure is, Tony. This was a speech designed to fire up the Democratic base in advance of the November midterm elections. And President Biden went aggressively after the Trump movement, laying out what he says is on the line in these elections.
We'll codify Roe v. Wade.
Testing out some campaign themes, President Biden in Maryland Thursday night argued women's reproductive rights are at stake this November.
There's a race to pass the most restrictive abortion limitations imaginable, even without exception for rape or incest. If the MAGA Republicans win control of the Congress, it won't matter where you live. Women won't have the right to choose anywhere. MAGA Republicans don't have a clue about the power of women.
Dude, he keeps saying MAGA Republicans like it's different, dude. It's all Republicans, motherfucker. Stop running the line. Stop running this line that like, oh man, there's a separate Republican out there. There's like sane Republicans. Like there are no sane Republicans, man. There are no sane Republicans. And let me tell you something. Even the ones that are basically teetering on the edge, or Republicans that have gotten abortions, or Republicans that think like they went too far with abortions, they're still going to vote Republican. So stop. Stop doing that. It's fine. Just say, if you're going to pop off on the entirety of the fucking Republican Party. He could be more right, but he's not wrong type shit. Yeah, just say Republican.
Let me tell you something.
Like, no fucking Republican ever says, like, there's reasonable Democrats. You know what I mean? There are good Republicans? What? No, there aren't. What the fuck do you mean there are good Republicans? There are barely any good Democrats, motherfucker. What do you mean there are good Republicans? Where are the good Republicans in the room with us right now? There's like 2 or 3 good Democrats. And you're out here being like, they're good Republicans. Like, there's no good Republicans.
They are about to find out.
In ramped-up political rhetoric, the president took aim at Trump followers, especially those in office.
In this moment, those of you who love this country, Democrats, independents, mainstream Republicans, we must be stronger, more determined, and more committed to saving America than the MAGA Republicans are destroying America.
With just over 10 weeks to go before midterm elections, President Biden and his party are looking to capitalize on a series of recent policy wins.
The term MAGA Republicans is savvy, slightly increases the chances of grabbing moderate pub votes. No, he should portray the entirety of the Republican Party as MAGA, because that is the truth. Not only because it's the truth, but if you want to fucking swing the moderates back, just say it how it is. The Republican Party is Donald Trump's party. Everybody knows it. You know it. I know it. All the other motherfuckers that are like trying to appeal to Donald Trump and claim that the election was stolen as they run desperately to try and get at least like a crumb of that juicy Trump clout is very well aware of this reality. Well, wouldn't you want a more nuanced position to get more votes? That's not how that works. What do you mean nuanced? God, you guys are so fucking annoying, dude. No. Simple messaging is significantly better, okay? Just keep it simple, stupid.
Including the healthcare and climate change law, gun reform, and the new student loan forgiveness plan.
It's completely unfair.
Which Republican lawmakers slammed Thursday.
For our government just to say, okay, well, your debt is completely forgiven. Obviously, they have an agenda for that. They need votes in November.
The White House Twitter account went on the offensive, calling...
Chat. Throughout Donald Trump's presidency, Donald Trump dipped below 90% approval rating within the Republican Party 3 times, I think. Okay? And it was like 89%. So if you think that the Republican Party is not the Donald Trump party, I don't know what to fucking tell you. You're out of your fucking mind. Okay? Cevap ver abi. Hasanabi bir cevap ver. Neye cevap vereyim? Ananın amına cevap vereceğim. Baksana. Baksana tipe bak Allah aşkına. Geri zekalı ya. Aldın mı cevabını? Al ye babanı. Salak herif. Anyway, how would you feel about vigilante justice? No, not a good idea. What kind of
in November?
The White House Twitter account went on the offensive, calling out Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene by name for criticizing student loan forgiveness, even after their own pandemic-era business loans, known as PPP, were forgiven by the government. Democrats feeling new optimism.
Yeah, Republicans come out and say Democrats are baby raping, baby eating demons and get more votes than ever. But obviously what people want is nuance. Yeah, man. Yeah. And all those moderates are like, wait a minute, hold on now. I don't think Democrats are baby raping and baby eating. I mean, that would just be a waste, actually. Pick one or the other. Well, I'm still going to vote for Republicans anyway, regardless.
Optimism after their candidates beat Mr. Biden's 2020 margins in 4 recent special congressional elections, including in New York, where Pat Ryan beat a tough Republican opponent by focusing on abortion rights.
When the Supreme Court ripped away reproductive freedoms, access to abortion rights, we said this is not what America stands for.
Candidate Biden may have run on civility and bringing Americans together, but now with control of the House and the Senate hanging in the balance, he is clearly ratcheting up the rhetoric, Tony.
Yeah. Nancy, in regards to abortion access, there are a number of new laws taking effect all around the country. What can you tell us about those?
Absolutely. A bunch of trigger laws taking effect this week. Take a look. Near total bans went into effect just yesterday in Tennessee and Idaho. Penalties were tightened in Texas. And this weekend, Oklahoma is going to enact a law increasing penalties on doctors who perform abortions. Now, the White House thinks that all of these restrictions are going to galvanize Democrats across the country the way that they did in Kansas a couple of weeks.
Hey guys, by the way, not to fucking toot my own horn, but I said the only way Biden wins again in 2024 is if they keep him on a steady diet of adrenochrome so he doesn't perish, release the JFK and 9/11 documents, delete all student loans via executive order, let Biden roam and do shit like this, he'd kill it. The video has been taken taken down, obviously, because it was fundamental truths. And also legalize weed. I can't believe I didn't mention the weed thing. But yeah, and it's true. If Brandon goes out and is like, yo, MAGA sucks, Jack. And if he legalizes weed, dude, I mean, it's not going to happen. But oh my God, at the federal level, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Holy shit, dude. Holy fuck.
Weeks ago when an anti-abortion measure was defeated at the polls. But whether this issue has as much potency come November as it does right now remains to be seen.
Yeah, time will tell. Nancy, thank you very much.
Turn out to President Biden.
Oh God, look, they're basically like, oh God, the media is so fucking nasty. Oh, here's the other take on the mishandling of HCS, by the way. The mishandling of HCS information puts human lives in danger. It also undermines the Five Eyes Agreement, joint cooperation in signals intelligence with the US, UK, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada. Why would they share intelligence with us when they can't be guarded? Guaranteed it will be kept safe. I mean, obviously, I don't give a shit ultimately about this sort of stuff, but that is the lib institutionalist angle in this matter. And that will be another reason why it's like so damaging. HCS is like basically classified people that are they're people on the ground that have given our intelligence communities top secret information, and their lives are at risk. They're fucking spies, basically. Highly confidential sources. It's like literally the actual people that do the spy shit, not the I'm an analyst, I can't go to Yemen type guys, but like the actual people that the FBI or the CIA either A, coerces or B, catches into doing like the real clandestine operations. These are the human sources that are on the ground. Like what you think the Jason Bourne guy is, these are the guys that are actually doing it. Why are you defending the Five Eyes? What the fuck, dude? You are a lib now? No, I'm saying I don't get... Man, shut the fuck up, okay? Oh, are you a lib now? Oh, man, no. All the human classified information should be released. Yeah, dude, I agree, okay? You got me. Yeah. Every motherfucker that has worked with the CIA and FBI should immediately be outed and executed. You got it. You're such a fucking sick Maoist, dude. Thank you. Like, I straight up said, I personally don't give a shit about, like, the American intelligence agency's confidence being undermined here, okay? But that is the line that, that is the line that, you know, institutionalists will push for. Anyway, but back to the student loan controversy, okay? Back to the student loan controversy. Libs are getting libbed the fuck up over the student loans. Oh, here. Biden was asked, what do you mean by semi-fascism?
You know what I mean. Mr. President.
And he said, you know what I mean, Dark Brandon.
Many drugs.
Oh, here. This is what I was going to say. Biden's getting fucking worked up. Here it is.
We also included a provision that would have allowed anyone with diabetes, including those kids and their families, that should get charged somewhere between $600 and $1,000 a month. How would you feel like being a parent, looking at your kid and knowing you didn't have the insurance and knowing if they did not get that insulin, they may die? There's thousands of people in America going through that. And these Republicans ripped that out of the bill, but we're coming back.
Yeah, he's popping off. But speaking of popping off, the top of the hour ad break is popping off unless you are a subscriber. At the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite streamer. Hopefully that's me. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. If you're a good boy or girl or an MB. Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs? Thank you for the 5 get the subs. King Token, thank you for the 5 get the subs as well. We are going to be popping the top of the hour ad break right now, and then afterwards, we're gonna watch the media put forward liberals that are also incredibly critical of the student loan debt relief. Let's continue.
Facing pushback from some members of his own party over this plan to forgive student loans for millions of Americans. Many Democrats now concerned about its possible impact on the party's chances in November. But the president, he touted that plan at a rally overnight.
And thanks to our historic deficit reduction, we can afford to cancel $10,000 in student debt and $20,000 if you're on a Pell Grant for tens of millions of Americans making under $125. This is a game changer.
Midterm campaign now officially underway. Rachel Scott joins us from the White House. Rachel, in spite of this criticism from some Democrats, the president's certainly hoping this is going to be a winning issue come November.
Yes, Cecilia, good morning. The president was not shy about touting a recent string of legislative accomplishments and political wins, hoping that this does provide fresh momentum for Democrats heading into these very critical midterm elections.
Democrats are like, I hate that you did something good for the party because it will now make the party more popular. And I kind of hate that. Like, we were riding the wave of not being popular. And if we actually do have like any kind of power, if we actually end up having any kind of fucking power and maintain our control over the Senate and the House, then now they're going to ask us to do more shit. And we hate that. What the fuck's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Because God forbid, Democrats love being in the White House and not having any sort of like structural power to be able to do legislation, because they love throwing their hands up in the fucking air and saying, oh man, we can't govern. Look, we just can't fucking govern. Look at that. Oh, shit. Oh, shucks. We just can't fucking govern. They do it. They love that so much that they find rotating villains within their own fucking party, like Kyrsten Sinema, like Joe Manchin, like Joe Lieberman, like, Maggie Hassan and many others like them, so that they cuck their own legislative agenda. They love the status quo. This forces them to play the same song and dance of like, oh man, the Senate parliamentarian. Oh, fuck, Senate parliamentarian. It's so fucking funny. This is the corporate media floundering in the face of Biden doing something that will actually help regular people whose approval rating is surging, so they have to use every media organ to attack him. Yeah. It's true. I mean, they did this with Afghanistan too. Like, the one time he does something good, they fucking whipped him. They whipped him into shape. They hit him like he was Donald Trump. You know how like Donald Trump would get fucking ridiculous attacks sometimes, even though like there's plenty to attack him on that's not ridiculous? It's like that. The only time the media collectively decided that Brandon was bad and punish him was when he was being a bad boy and did the Afghan withdrawal. Okay? And they're doing it again almost. Like, they're doing it now because of the student loan debt relief.
Believe it or not, they are less than 75 days away. So the president held this campaign rally in Maryland, and he used some of his strongest language yet against Republicans, calling some of their philosophy semi-fascism. But obviously, Democrats here are facing an uphill challenge. The president's approval ratings have been low as Americans deal with record high inflation. And some Democrats that are running in these very tight races are not thrilled by his recent announcement to cancel student loan debt for millions of Americans. Congressman Jared Golden of Maine said that the decision is out of touch. Congressman Tim Ryan, who is running for Senate in Ohio, says that this sends the wrong message to Americans without degrees who are still struggling to make ends meet, Cecilia.
Yeah, and Rachel, you know, we've been pushing the White House for so many days now about what the price tag is for American taxpayers on this plan. White House officials finally giving some kind of clues overnight.
Yes, and Cecilia, I know you've repeatedly pressed the White House on this. Officials have been vague, struggling to come up with an answer to this question. But overnight, the White House press secretary estimates that it could cost the government $24 billion a year if 75% of eligible loan borrowers participate in this program. But that's pretty low compared to some outside estimates that say it could cost $500.
They didn't even actually show who's fucking mad. They just said people are mad. Damn, bro, this is great coverage, by the way. Dude, I'm not going to watch Rumble, brother. Like, what the fuck? Chill. Calm down. Take a day off. I'm not going to watch the live stream of Andrew Tate emergency Rumble broadcast. Like, what the fuck? Democrats in tight races are mad. It's like, what the fuck? They said it was Jared Golden and Tim Ryan. I mean, this is like barely. Meanwhile, the current Ohio Senate Democrat has this to say. For too long, student debt has prevented generations of Americans from pursuing their dreams and seeing their hard work pay off. Now, POTUS is providing relief and helping those Americans start families, buy homes, and open businesses. This will go a long way for many Ohioans. It's true. You don't know the people who are mad. They go to a different school, but trust me. Like, how mad are they? Why are they mad? What are they saying?
$100 billion over the course of the next 10 years, Cecilia.
All right, Rachel Scott, thanks so much.
What are people mad about this? What are people mad about this time? The student debt forgiveness is going to be helping so many people. I don't understand why people are getting in their panties in a twist over this. They're just, I don't know, because they're fucking stupid. I don't know what else to say other than, like, they're just dumb and resentful and stupid. They just, like, here's an alt-right pipeline guy who has dumb America-centric takes.
North America.
You think I'm going to watch a fucking 46-minute video by some fucking weirdo with not even any, like, fun visuals involved in it? You must be out of your fucking mind, dude. Give me some of that crack you're smoking, dude. What the fuck? Huh. Hey, bro, watch this map content. It's fucking fire, dude. No, we're not doing that.
Campaign for president, I made a commitment. That would provide student debt relief. And I'm honoring that commitment today.
Tim Ryan's statement on loan forgiveness. Let's see what he said. Interesting statement from Tim Ryan, through his congressional office on student loan forgiveness. It's almost like he's running a Senate campaign aimed at winning over the middle of the road roaders. As someone who's paying off my own family student loans, I know the costs of higher education are too high. And while there's no doubt that a college education should be about opening opportunities, waiving debt for those already on a trajectory to financial security sends the wrong message to millions of Ohioans without a degree working just as hard to make ends meet. Yeah, that's stupid. You're stupid for saying this. You should be also effectively communicating why this is a good thing and how it will help millions of Ohioans whose children have student loan debt relief that are getting the adequate debt relief right now, you dumb fuck. There are people who have dropped out of college who have debt relief. Instead of forgiving student loans for six-figure earners, oh my God, he's doing a Republican take. When will you understand? You are gift wrapping a celebration to J.D. Vance when you do this. Because J.D. Vance sucks, right? He sucks. He's not fun. He's no content. He's LARPing as like a salt of the earth guy. Okay? When he spent his entire life sucking liberal cock at Yale and Harvard and all of those fucking institutions, only to turn back and completely delete the disdain that he has for people living in Kentucky, people living in Ohio, people living in the fucking Rust Belt, okay? And be like, oh, I'm just like you. I love soda, okay? And he's not a real soda boy, in the words of Felix Biederman. He's not. He doesn't ride for soda like I do. He doesn't ride for soda like Felix does. He's not a real soda boy. He's trying to be a soda boy, okay? So that guy sucks. Tim Ryan has a good shot here, and he's going to cuck himself by basically conceding to his opponent that the one good thing that the fucking Biden administration did is actually bad. You fucking idiot. God, he is so bad. The only thing that's like holding him up right now is just how shitty J.D. Vance is as well. Anyway, instead of forgiving student loans for six-figure earners, we should be working to level the playing field for all Americans, including across-the-board taxes. Here's a better way to form this. It's good that this happened, but it's not enough. And I will work to make sure that it's not just, student loans being forgiven for people making less than $75,000, which is 90%. Okay? And I will work to make sure that everyone gets Oh my God, including an across-the-board tax cut for working in middle. Oh God. Oh God. You want to do a tax cut? Okay, fuck this. I can't read the rest of this. I'm getting triggered by reading how fucking stupid this idiot is. Oh my God. All right, let's watch this video instead. What a dumb motherfucker. Go back to doing yoga, you stupid idiot. Fuck you. I can't do it. I can't do it. God, what a cuck.
My campaign for president, I made a commitment. I made a commitment that would provide student debt relief. And I'm honoring that commitment today.
Sure is,
Using the
baby.
authority Congress granted the Department of Education, we will forgive $10,000 in outstanding federal student loans. In addition, students who come from low-income families, which allowed them to qualify to receive a Pell Grant, will have their debt reduced $20,000.
President Biden has kind of been backed into a corner. I get the sense he is unhappy about it. An extension, at least the last couple, has given the Biden administration a little bit more cover as they're trying to figure out what to do with student debt cancellation.
Why? Why are they backed into a corner? This is a good thing, man. Yo, the media is like fundamentally brain broken, dude. It's just like everyone, dude. Everyone is so fucking crazy. I feel like I've taken crazy pills, okay? Dude, everyone is treating this like it's such a bad thing. Let the fucking old dickhead have his W, man. Oh, he's really been backed into a corner. Like, what do you mean? What fucking corner? He had every legal right to do this, and he did it, and now you're like fucking mad, so you're just straight up trying to create like a contentious perspective, a contentious narrative, when his fucking approval rating picked up by 6 points immediately. The disdain that the press across the board have for the working class in this fucking country is mind-boggling to me. I'm losing my fucking mind. God damn it. Even the fucking Groypers were right about the media. Holy fuck.
Student loan payments pause is going to end. It's going to end December 30. I'm extending to December 31st, 2022, and it's going to end at that time. By resuming student loan payments at the same time as we provide targeted relief, we're taking an economically responsible course.
To a lot of critical and perhaps salty folks at this point, they're saying that the administration keeps kicking the can down the road, essentially. And in doing so, you're also costing the government millions, if not billions of dollars in accrued interest that's going unpaid at this point. Liberal lawmakers on Capitol Hill have been pushing for an extension, in part because of inflation. I think the idea of adding an additional bill back into the budget of many American households at a time where they're already dealing with higher prices just seems like an untenable policy.
Isn't this going to raise taxes? No, man. What are you talking about? No. Shut the fuck up. No, it's already debt. It's debt that the federal government holds. Not only that, but also on top of that, it's already payments that were made to college campuses. Why would they do that? How would the taxes be increased off of this? It's debt that's already been paid to the fucking schools, man. And not only that, but it hasn't even been paid for the past 2 years. Governments never have to raise taxes for any spending. No, they can do it. Not America, though. Other governments have to do it. They actually do have to balance a budget because they're not America, okay? America technically doesn't have to do it, and it doesn't do it all the fucking time. You're just too stupid to recognize when it doesn't do it for big businesses or for the American military. But when they do it for poor people, when they get fucking a fraction of a goddamn crumb, you're like, whoa. What about the deficit? We got to fix that. We got to balance the budget, dude. Well, guess what? Biden already balanced the fucking budget, okay? He reduced the deficit tremendously, if you care about that sort of thing, which nobody really does, except for the fucking Democrats.
Many American households at a time where they're already dealing with higher prices just seems like an untenable policy.
I think it is appropriate at a time when so many of our younger generation are struggling that we should cancel all student debt. That is my own view.
I know. They're
should have to go.
They're flip-flopping super hard, Blake Masters and everyone else, on abortion. We're going to talk about abortion in a little bit. Hold on.
Go into debt, crushing debt in order to get an education.
Understand on cancellation, this.
No, I already ran the top of the hour ad break chatter.
This is something the American people want, and it's something that tens of millions of people need.
He didn't balance the budget. He reduced the national debt. Okay, shut up. Yes, you know what I mean. Fuck you. Shut up. God, you're so fucking annoying. He didn't balance the budget. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Okay? Yes, I used the wrong term. You're right. Which I corrected quickly, immediately after. But it doesn't matter. None of it matters. You can say whatever the fuck you want. No one gives a shit.
Republican lawmakers think this is an unfair policy and a reckless policy. Unfair for the folks who did not go to college.
Okay, I'm more focused on the fucking dummy chatters than I am about whatever this disgusting agitprop is that masks itself as though it is offering objective analysis on the situation when it's basically just a right-wing slanted anti-student loan debt relief agitprop that is just here to shit on Biden. If deficit spending, or if our budget was a gigantic problem, if deficit hawking was a real thing, then Donald Trump should have been shot, okay, by the Republican Party on the fucking floor of the Senate. The gigantic fucking tax cuts that they gave the corporations and the top 1% of fucking wealth put a whopping fucking multiple trillion dollar fat fucking deficit. Added trillions of dollars to the fucking deficit. They would literally hang Mitch McConnell on the fucking Senate floor if a Republican ever cared about the deficit. Shut the fuck up! You dumb econ textbook loving stupid idiots. What about the deficit? Where was the fucking deficit argument when Donald Trump offered the largest fucking tax cuts since Ronald Reagan? Where the fuck was the deficit then? No, nobody gives a shit about the deficit when it's wealthy people that take back more, even more of the money that they fucking made off of your backs. Shut the fuck up. God damn it, dude.
Want, and it's something that tens of millions of people need.
Republican lawmakers think this is an unfair policy and a reckless policy. Unfair for the folks who did not go to college, unfair for the folks who went to college and did not borrow, unfair for the folks who went to college, borrowed, and repaid their loans. The other argument is how expensive this is.
That's not unfair. That's not unfair. You're just describing that you're selfish, okay? You are moralizing your selfishness as though it's adequate policy, okay? You're literally just saying, like, I mean, God, Americans are so selfish that, like, technically this could work as decent propaganda because it strikes Americans at the heart of their way of existence, which is just being deeply selfish, hyper individualistic beings. Chatters, the U.S. government does not operate on the same basis as a house budget or even the same basis as a corporate entity. The U.S. government uses debt to set interest rates, which affect all other rates on the planet, a way to sway global investment markets. So without debt and the Treasury securities, the U.S. would wield less power.
Is without really addressing the underlying problems with the federal lending system or with the cost of higher education. There's no accountability measures.
Okay, this part is true, but that has nothing to do with the fucking debt relief, man. The debt relief is problems that already happened, okay? You're describing additional problems that are already happening and Biden not solving them, but it's a good start. The only valid perspective here is that, yes, college education is insanely expensive, okay? And it has become so insanely expensive and so unaffordable, it's fucking ridiculous. And it doesn't seem like there is a stopgap measure to kind of ensure that college education is no longer as expensive. Okay? How is this unfair to the people whose parents paid for their college so they didn't need loans? Psychopathic take. No, it's not just those people. There are people who paid off their loans. I paid off my loans. I paid off my brother's loans. Like, I don't give a shit personally. Okay? I think it's ridiculous to care, but some people are selfish. Okay? And they do. They do get mad. They're like, well, what the fuck? I want to take, I want $10,000 back that I paid for that I could have just used on cool shit. It's just selfishness, though, for the most part.
Being discussed to be paired with this sort of policy. The Department of Education is actually on board with an extension. They just want it done in a way that really mitigates any kind of confusion among borrowers. Some lenders need 45 days before they send out notices to borrowers, some just 30. Despite what people may believe, it is not easy to turn back on the repayment system with like a flick of a switch. There are people within the White House who think that this is a sound policy because of the issues of inflation. But there are also people who are more fiscally conservative. The Biden administration is coming off of important wins from the Inflation Reduction Act. A lot of policy experts are starting to get...
Well, not everyone's a millionaire like you, Hassan. For some people, that's a lot of money that they'll never get back. Yes, bro. I know. Apply that principle to all the people that are getting it back, though. You fucking idiot. I love how this turned around to me again for some reason. Maybe just think for like 3.5 seconds, okay? Maybe just think for 3.5 fucking seconds. Apply that principle to those who now have debt relief and recognize that you're shitting on those people who now have debt relief. You're shitting on those less fortunate than you magically. Do you get it? Do you understand? You fucking idiot. It's so stupid. You're literally saying, well, you're rich enough not to care. True. Okay, well, when I paid them off, I was not. But that's besides the point. I am now. Okay? Like, I wasn't fucking born with this level of financial security, but that's different. Okay? But what you are doing now is basically saying, well, people who are marginally more fortunate than those who are less fortunate enough to not even be able to pay those fucking loans off will now get debt relief. You're using me as a way to craft an argument when that argument itself unironically is self-defeating. If you apply it to those who have enough money to pay off their loans versus those who do not. It's the same argument.
Concerned that another extension and a broad-based debt cancellation would really undermine the policy wins that the administration has recently scored.
Debate bros cannot debate. I swear to God. Yeah, they never can.
Right. I think it needs to be more than that.
Fox News, did the student loan forgiveness of $300 billion? New Yorkers say no problem. Americans weigh in. Wait, what? Dark Brandon coming for Trump's neck? He did not say this. What?
Trump said that he declassified all these documents. Did he have just declassified them all?
Well, I just want to know, I've declassified everything in the world. I'm president. I can do it. Come on.
Wait, he said it. He said it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Immediately release the 9/11 documents. Immediately release the 9/11 documents. Who killed JFK? No takebacks. He said it. He did it. Boys, he did it.
I'm not going to comment on it because I don't know the detail. I don't even want to know. I'll let the Justice Department take that.
Dark Brandon, rise up. Okay. Aliens. Yes, aliens.
I got a job and I paid them off. What's the rush? I mean, the APR is low on the interest rates, right? So you're not really paying that much.
Inflation comes, inflation goes. It's not abnormal. It's happened many, many times before, and we'll get through it.
The rich nation.
why can't we educate our young? Why can't we foot that bill? There's so many people with more money than they will ever spend in their lifetime. I say if you take out a loan, you should pay it off. I don't rely on the government to pay my debts, so I don't think the government should pay student loan debts either. Take out a loan, you go to school, you pay it off, just like everybody else did.
For us, there's positive because we have kids and they have student loans that we help them pay. But I do worry about the overall state of the economy.
I think it's outrageous that so many young people have to pay back crazy amounts of money, especially with interest.
I think that most Americans would believe that helping in some way, shape, or form is the right thing to do.
Regardless of whether you benefit from it or not, it's just showing people some help during a hard recession that we're coming across.
This is wild, dude. Fox News. What did you guys couldn't find a fucking...
Now
What did you guys not... Were you unable to, find a single fucking person that could say the things you want them to say? This is a crazy fucking cut. They went to mostly boomers, and even mostly boomers were like, yeah, no, this is sick. This is poggers. I love it. Shut the fuck up. Don't be selfish. All right, let's see what Kellyanne had to say about Brandon.
Ignorant or arrogant or some awful combination of the two. But you can't just call people names and have nothing to back it up. Look.
What do you mean? Donald Trump did it all the time and you fucking loved it. Shut the fuck up. Dumbass. They ended on a pro-debt forgiveness person too. Yeah, it's surprising. I mean, there's still plenty of fucking idiots that they can find that will say it's actually not good. We're going to talk about Blake Masters and abortion in a little bit. But before we do that, let's take a look at Ben Shabibo. I'm going to go pee real quick, though, while this starts playing. Ben Shabibo, he knows he can't, but he did it anyway.
Let's get to the constitutionality of this thing, because the constitutionality of this thing is completely specious.
Ooh, let's talk about the Constitution. Shut the fuck up, Ben. People are getting 10 grand back. People are getting 10 grand back. Fuck the Constitution. Good luck. Good luck selling that to the American people, dude. Get the fuck out of here. What about the constitutionality? Shut up, nerd. Shut the fuck up, you little nerd bitch. You dumb nerd bitch. Let's get to the constitutionality of the argument. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Fuck the Constitution. Motherfuck the Constitution. The Constitution can suck me from the back, okay? And the framers, too. I'll go piss on their fucking graves, motherfucker. Shut up!
There's no basis upon which Joe Biden has the power to do this. None.
Nerd.
I know we left the Constitution behind a long time ago in this country. I know that we now think that the president basically has the power to declare anything. And during COVID, it got even worse. During COVID, it was like, hey, some old people are going to die of a disease. This means you don't have to pay your rent. You're a 20-year-old who's working a gaming job. You don't have to pay your rent anymore for 2 years because the CDC says so. I understand that we all went nuts in 2020, 2021. But even Nancy Pelosi last year was saying Joe Biden did not have the singular power to cancel student debt. This is last year. Shades of Barack Obama saying that he didn't have the power to simply declare that illegal immigrants would never be deported. And then he just did it. Anytime, just as Democrats frequently say, this crazy left-wing radical fringe idea will never become mainstream, and then 10 years later, they're doing it. Whenever Democrats say we don't have the power to do X, within about 18 months, they will be doing it. So here's Nancy Pelosi 1 year ago declaring Joe Biden did not have the power to simply cancel student debt.
People think that the President of the United States has the power for debt forgiveness. He does not. He can postpone, he can delay, but he does not have that power. That has to be an act of Congress. Not everybody realizes that, but the president can only postpone, delay, but not forgive.
Okay, but Joe Biden just did that, right? He said he's going to forgive. So what is the legal basis for this? This is totally crazy. And I think Joe Biden knows this is crazy. And so it leads me to believe that as a legal strategy.
Bro, this is ridiculous. I mean, he has every power to do this. The Department of Education can do this and did it. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Oh, Ben Shapiro agreeing with Nancy Pelosi on this? Because we watched the clip yesterday. It's the old clip, right?
But he does not have that power. That has to be an act of Congress.
Yeah, there you go. Doesn't matter, dude. Hey, Ben, you and Nancy can take the L's together, okay?
Everybody realizes that, but the president can only postpone, delay, but not forgive.
Okay, but Joe Biden just did that, right? He said he's going to forgive. So what is the legal basis for this? This is totally crazy.
Yeah, he didn't even do it by executive order. He did it through a law passed by Congress that gives the Department of Education the power to do this.
And I think Joe Biden knows this is crazy. And so it leads me to believe that as a legal strategy, what Joe Biden is doing here is he's campaigning against the Supreme Court, because my guess is that this is going to be appealed by somebody. Right? They have to find somebody with standing.
Yeah, they're literally trying to get this to the Supreme Court and hope that the Supreme Court could like maybe stop this from happening.
It's hard to find somebody with standing in this particular case because you have to show that you were damaged, and you as a general taxpayer can't show standing. But assuming that there is some sort of lawsuit, say by Congress, saying that Joe Biden exceeded his powers here, and it goes to the Supreme Court, this is probably not going to fall under the political question doctrine. Probably this is going to fall under the delegated powers, right? Whether Joe Biden actually has the inherent powers to do this. And if it gets struck down by the Supreme Court, then Joe Biden will then campaign against the Supreme Court.
I did my best, guys. I tried to relieve the student Lamanu, and the Supreme Campuchies said that I wasn't a match valve.
Yeah, that may be what he's doing here, legally speaking. That is the only way that I can explain how he purports to do this. According to the Office of Legal Counsel opinion, explaining how Joe Biden is doing this, what gives Joe Biden the power to simply say that you, a person who took out a student loan, now no longer have to pay that student loan? What gives him the power to do that? Get ready for this. It is the HEROES Act of 2003. Now you're thinking to yourself, what is the HEROES Act of 2003? I don't even remember that. That's 20 years ago, man. What are we talking about?
Get fucked. Bitch, you can't talk about the Constitution on the one hand and then be like, oh, this other act was from 2003. That's 20 years ago. Okay, what about the Constitution, jackass? The fuck do you mean? You're like, dude, these people will find like an insane law, okay, from like 1843 to be like, well, this is the reason why every Democrat is actually not allowed to vote legally. You know what I mean? In order to find any fucking like judicial reasoning for their psychotic reactionary worldview, they will be like, well, technically, in 1843, a horse would have to kick every Democrat before they were able to vote, which is why, technically, right now, hypothetically speaking, every Democrat is illegally voting. Like, you know what I mean? They use whatever they can, but the moment that someone is like, oh, well, a 20-year-old law was used here that gives the executive authority over to the president to absolve a student loan debt that's held by the Department of Education regardless, well then no, you can't do that. It's unacceptable. It's not allowed.
About here. Well, the HEROES Act of 2003, which was passed in the aftermath of 9/11, right? What was that designed to do? It was designed to allow the Secretary of Education to waive or modify loans because of a national emergency. Like, say, for example, there was a massive terror attack in the United States, a nuclear attack in the United States. Do you still have to pay off your loan this week? The idea was the Secretary of Education could cancel loans if they had to. Joe Biden is now declaring that because of COVID, he can just cancel the student loans. According to the Office of Legal Counsel, quote, we conclude the act grants that authority. The plain text of the HEROES Act authorizes the Secretary to waive or modify any statutory or regulatory provision applicable to the federal student loan program, an authority that encompasses provisions applicable to the repayment of the principal balances of loans, provided certain conditions are met. We conclude that targeting relief toward those individuals who suffered financial hardship because of COVID-19 and who otherwise satisfied the requirements of the Act accords with the Act's requirement that the waiver or modification be necessary to ensure that student loan recipients affected by a national emergency are not placed in a worse financial position with respect to their loans as a result. Are you kidding me? We have an unemployment rate in this country of less than 4%. College grads have the lowest unemployment rate of any educational subsection of the American population. And your declaration is...
Wait. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a problem, you fucking bozo. That's literally... Look at how mad he is. He's like, get these fucking people to start working at gunpoint. Get them to start working at gunpoint. Not everyone can have a fucking shit-ass podcast like you dickhead. Shut the fuck up. He's so mad. Dude, I swear to God, these people would literally advocate for the National Guard to take up arms and like force people to go serve them fucking coffee at Starbucks, okay? I'm telling you, like If there was a Chamber of Commerce back bill that said like the National Guard is going to use guns to force every unemployed person to like work at the Shake Shack, you know what I mean? They would literally be like, "This is a great bill. Why aren't they working?" Look how fucking mad he is, dude.
4%. College grads have the lowest unemployment rate of any educational subsection of the American population. And your declaration is that they have a national emergency based on COVID to relieve their student loans?
Yeah, I mean, you admitted it. You know what I mean? College graduates are not employed. They can't find meaningful jobs, meaningful wages. Seems like that's a crisis. Maybe it should be solved some way, somehow. I don't know. I'm just saying. Perhaps debt relief could be a good way an adequate way to free up some of the burden. I'm just saying. It seems like a good idea. Which it is a good idea. It's a good idea, by the way.
That is the case that you are making legally speaking? Okay, that is obviously specious. It is obviously stupid. And everyone obviously knows that. But Joe Biden's going to do it anyway. Because again, it doesn't matter how you do it, gang. It just matters that you do it. It's all about the power. This is why when you hear Democrats talking about how they're defenders of democracy, explain. Seriously, explain. Explain how it's democracy.
The counter argument for me is just literally who cares? Who honestly gives a shit if you're a good person? Why is he so mad about this? It doesn't affect him. Oh, he's mad because Democrats are actually doing something for once. And Republicans have to be mad about anything that the Democrats do. That's the point. It's the song and dance that they play. And he's probably doubly mad because the Democrats actually did something really good that is popular, that will genuinely impact 45 million people's lives in a positive way. And that probably doubly frustrates him. He's mad because he's reactionary and Republicans have to react to good Democratic policy, good or bad. He's also doubly mad because this is good. So it makes the Democrats look good. That probably pisses him off even fucking further. You know what I'm saying?
To have a regulatory authority under the President of the United States simply unilaterally declare that he can relieve debt. And by relieving debt, by the way, it doesn't mean debt disappears. It means you pay it. I pay it. My kids.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Just like the PPP loans. Shut the fuck up. Just like the PPP loans. Just like the PPP loans. Just like the PPP loans. $1 trillion in PPP loans were relieved. That's not true. No, for me. It's for me.
Kids pay it. That's what it means. Because the fiscal cost on this thing is extraordinary. We'll get to more on this in just 1 second. First, how did you choose which internet service provider to use? Well, the sad thing is pretty much no one has a choice because ISPs operate like monopolies in the regions they serve. They then use that monopoly power.
Shut the fuck up. You fucking hate. You love monopolies.
Praying particularly on a variety of issues here. And Shapiro show, get 3 extra months for free. Hey,
you love monopolies.
I want to get to the fiscal cost, but I'm trying to break this down into a variety of issues here. The constitutionality, it does not exist. What it does for the college system, it subsidizes a crap scam system that is predicated on preying particularly on people in poor areas who are getting degrees from institutions and universities that do not benefit them. And then you get to the question, let's get to the fairness question here, because Democrats keep saying that it's fair. So this is an amazing thing. Joe Biden was asked yesterday, how is it fair for people who never went to college to subsidize those who did? How is it fair for people who paid off their student debt to subsidize people who did not pay off their student debt? How is that fair?
That's not how this works.
I mean, by the way,
that's not how this works. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. But that is how it should work. Taxes should pay for state education. It does to a certain degree, as a matter of fact. You could make this argument against state schools getting fucking taxes. You could make this argument against hospitals taking advantage of budget allocations specifically designed for hospitals. I never used a hospital. Why am I, a person who never uses the hospital because I'm never sick, paying for some taxes that end up going to the hospital? Why am I, a person whose house has never caught on fire because I'm very responsible, paying for a fire department? This is a fundamentally anti-tax libertarian position. He is not a libertarian, by the way. He loves the military. He loves giving $38 billion to Israel. So you know that. Okay? Taxes already pay for a certain part of the cost of education, both, regardless of whether or not you're fucking homeschooling your children or not, regardless of whether you're fucking homesteading or not. Okay, taxes pay for education. It subsidizes education, even if you're using it or even if you're not using it. Okay, that's number one. Number two, they should already pay and do pay to a certain degree, or at least subsidize to a certain degree, the cost of state schools. Not enough, because state school costs are incredibly fucking high in America, hyper-capitalist dystopia. Okay? And lastly, the subsidization, rather the debt, the student loan debt release, the student loan debt relief is not being subsidized by people who didn't go to college. That's bullshit. He's making it up. It's debt that the government already had, and it's debt that the government has every right and responsibility to fucking relieve if they want to. Okay?
Ask this question about people who don't pay off their credit card debt. If Joe Biden really wanted to relieve everybody's pressure these days.
By the way, no matter what I'm covering, I could be covering like student loan debt relief. I could be covering the fucking Ukrainian war. I could be covering anything on the fucking planet. The moment that there's like food here, chat becomes this like insane parasocial demon. This collective hive mind that absolutely loses their shit. They're like, ooh, you're eating chips. What kind of chips are you eating? Are you losing weight? Oh, those are the weight loss chips. Tell me more about the same food that you eat every fucking day. Oh my God. Like, calm the fuck down, guys. Holy shit, I eat it literally the same fucking day. The same thing at the same time every fucking day. I eat the same food. Please stop being fucking parasocial for once. God damn it. It's the same Chipotle salad I have every fucking day.
Why doesn't he just cancel all credit card debt? After all, we have trillions of dollars in outstanding credit card debt in the United States. Why not just do that? After all, money magically grows on trees. And as we know, the fairest thing is for you to take out irresponsible debt and then for your neighbor to pay it. The fairest thing is for predatory lenders to prey on people to go to the local hairdressing salon for a quote-unquote university course and then for you to bail them out. That's the fairest thing, probably. Here's Joe Biden trying to answer why any of this is fair when it obviously is not.
Mr. President, is this unfair to people who paid their student loans or chose not to take out loans?
Is it fair to people who, in fact, do not own multi-billion-dollar businesses that see why these guys get them all at tax breaks? Is that fair?
Is it fair that some ostriches can't fly?
That's not what he said. He actually provided a pretty adequate retort. Yes, he's old. Yes, he's old. Okay? That part is true. Yes, his brain is broken. But that was a really good fucking counter. Suck me, Ben. The one time that this decrepit, wasting fucking corpse was able to adequately provide a counter with a decent answer, and you're just going, ugh, his voice.
Is that fair? Is it fair that iguanas freeze and fall out of the trees in wintertime in Florida? Is that fair? What's fair, man? What's fair?
He's asked a very specific question. Why is it fair for people who paid off their loans to now pay everybody else's loans? And his answer is multi-billion-dollar businesses or some such nonsense.
What?
The hell does that have to do?
You heard what he said. He directly said, what about the fucking PPP loans? Suck my cock. He literally directly said, and you heard him say it, and every American heard him say, why are you bent out of shape about people making less than $75,000 a fucking year getting $10K in their student loans relieved when you weren't so bent when multi-million, billion-dollar corporations got trillions, $1 trillion in fucking loans that the federal government forgave in the form of PPP loans. Shut the fuck up. I say 75K because like 90% of those people that are receiving those loans, okay, 90% of those people receiving those loans are in the 75K metric, okay? I don't like the fucking 125K fucking number. That's like literally less than 10%. Shut the fuck up. On the PPP side, that makes sense. There's also a whopping multiple $trillion tax cut that that gigantic corporations got as well. Okay?
do with the price of tea in China. What are you even talking about, dude? It's just nonsensical gobbledygook from a person whose face hole doesn't work right. It's unreal. And by the way, it's going to cost you so much. I mean, we are talking hundreds of billions of dollars. This is the largest single spending initiative.
This is so funny. Brother, he adequately pointed something out. You just know that it's a good argument. And you refuse to address it because it's a good argument. It's just, that's what it is. This is all he has left now. Now when the Democrats are actually doing something, and the thing that they're doing is actually good, now he has no fucking counter. So he just goes, it's gobbledygook. His face hole doesn't work. He's too stupid. Yeah, that's what happens. I thought facts, not feelings, right? I thought facts don't care about your feelings, Ben. It seems like your fucking feelings are hurt, though. Weird. Real fucking weird. Of course, this is the same Ben Shapiro who I ratioed yesterday, thanks to you guys, who said, so it's now the White House's position that if the government forces you to shut down your business and provides you with compensation just to keep people employed, that's the same thing as you failing to pay for college loans you voluntarily undertook. Geniuses. I said, I don't know if you know this, but those were also loans that were forgiven. That's Ben's perspective on it. But he knows that's a bad perspective. He knows that he would get fucking owned if he brought that up. So he has to go, oh, I don't understand what Biden is saying. It's gobbledygook. Which I'm sure he will bring up now.
President, unilaterally, ever. There has never been an executive action this costly in the history of the United States, what Joe Biden is doing right now. Understand the magnitude of this. You're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars poured in on the basis of Joe Biden's perception of fairness. By the way, this is the kind of garbage that you get from Bernie Sanders, right?
I don't know, man. War is pretty bad. Devoid of congressional approval, too. An argument I'm sure Ben Shapiro is in favor of, too.
You got to love the non sequiturs. And no matter what the question is, Bernie says, is it truly fair that there are some rich people in this country? Is that a fair thing? What? You're paying the rich people. That's what this program does. It gives money to people who have a combined couple income of $250,000. Are those the poorest among us? So Bernie Sanders tweeted out, the average amount of debt forgiveness to businesses receiving PPP.
I think you should stick to being the annoying weasel and leave the bad accents to me, Ben. I'm just saying. Especially when you're angrily trying to do an impersonation, it's just so bad.
Loans is $95,700. If we could afford to cancel hundreds of billions in PPP loans to business owners in their time of need, please do not tell me we can't afford to cancel all student debt for 45 million Americans. So, a couple of points here. One, PPP was designed to preserve the employment of people who were not allowed to go to work. That's what it was. Second, it was massively inflationary, and it lasted way too long. Third, there's an enormous amount of scams inside PPP, enormous amount of monies that went to people who shouldn't have gotten them. This, by the way, is the typical left-wing line. So they tried to use this on me, believe it or not, on Twitter yesterday. It was unbelievable. So yesterday on Twitter, suddenly I realized I'm trending because of all of this. And I'm like, what? Why? I don't understand. I was barely online yesterday. I was actually on a plane. So what exactly?
That loan wasn't his, as I correctly pointed out when people kept bringing it up. And we looked to find his umbrella corporation that may or may not have taken PPP loans, but we couldn't find it. That's why he's bringing it up.
Please, what's going on? Well, it turns out that some idiot schmucks on the left decided that they were going to look up whether I personally had taken PPP loans. And then they tweeted out a screenshot of a person named Ben Shapiro in Los Angeles who had taken $21,000 in PPP loans. Okay, this then appeared in truthodfiction.com, which is a Snopes-like fact-checking website, and the Indy 100, which is the UK Independent, and Uprock's entire articles about how I was a hypocrite for opposing the relieving of student loan debt because I had taken PPP money. One, no, I didn't. You lying sacks of bleep. I never did. And you morons in the media. I mean, this is repeated all over. All the blue checks are tweeting this. Like hundreds of thousands of retweets from various sources. The screenshot itself, if expanded to the right, demonstrated that the person who actually took those loans was in the business of real estate agenting, which, as you may have noticed, I'm not a real estate agent. Okay, so it was just a lie. It didn't matter. It had run around the world. It was too late. It was printed in Truth or Fiction, and I had not denied it. Okay. Daily Wire, by the way, also has never
Get fucked, you dork.
taken PPP loans. Second of all, when Bernie Sanders says that PPP is the same as you taking out a loan.
Also, Daily Wire itself never took out a loan, but he does have a corporate. There is Daily Wire is under a corporate umbrella. Now, they might not have taken PPP loans regardless. They might not have. That really doesn't change anything.
To go major in modern art at the local JUCO, that is not the same thing by any stretch of the imagination. But it's typical Bernie Sanders. So Bernie Sanders tweets that, and then he tweets a little bit more. And so Bernie Sanders' second tweet here, he tweets, if SoFi, a student loan refinancing company, could give its CEO a 92% raise last year, paying him a grand total of $103 million in compensation, and spend $625 million to put his name on the LA Rams football stadium, do you know what President Biden can do? Cancel.
Yeah. Oh, God, this is so bad. I was going to say, the student loan, the CEO deserves it.
All student debt.
I know you've never worked a day in your life, Bernie Sanders. I know you've only worked off of the government dime and stole from others. But in the real world, CEOs deserve that kind of pay. The rich deserve to get richer.
What? So, number one, I noticed that you bailing out the loans helps companies like SoFi. So there's that. Second, if a private company can do X, the government can do Y, is not an argument. That is a complete non sequitur. If Jeff Bezos can buy himself a private jet, Joe Biden can ride the nuclear weapon to Mars. Like, what? What are you talking about? What are you even... We have a bunch of geriatric dotards running the country who can't even string together basic AB logic. It's insane. This guy is an ideological leader of the Democratic Party.
I wish. Okay. What Bernie Sanders is doing here is not, here's the AB logic, you fucking idiot. What he's saying is, student loan refinancing is an insanely profitable business. So profitable that the fucking CEO can get a 92% raise. And one individual, which would amount to one individual receiving $103 million in compensation. So profitable that they can purchase the LA Rams football stadium for $625 million. That's the Bernie Sanders take here. That it is like a profoundly profitable thing, that people have very successful businesses launched off of our inadequate structure, our inadequate systems that saddle working class individuals with an endless amount of fucking debt simply for becoming more productive members of the American workforce. That's the fucking argument. Ben, you're not that stupid. There's no fucking way he's that stupid. I mean, I think he is very stupid, but he's just like purposely being, like he's maliciously weaponizing stupidity. Not his stupidity, but the stupidity of his fucking audience. Bernie's not making a logical argument here. That's not the argument.
What are you talking about? What are you even... We have a bunch of geriatric dotards running the country who can't even string
it's not
for
even
a gallon
logical.
of milk thanks to inflation. Why cannot Joe Biden simply relieve all credit card debt and fart rainbows? Clearly, he has the constitutional... If you, at your local...
Oh my God, he's getting like increasingly more anti-Semitic, by the way. What the fuck? Bro, his Bernie is literally like... His Bernie's like Fiddler on the Roof. You know what I mean? His Bernie Sanders is like Steven Crowder doing a black guy voice. You know what I mean? Like when Steven Crowder tries to do a Obama voice, and it's literally just Chris Tucker, or when he tries to do a Morgan Freeman and it's just Chris Tucker again. Like anytime Steven Crowder tries to literally imitate a black person, he only knows like the Chris Tucker voice. For Ben Shapiro, his Bernie Sanders is like slowly turning into Fiddler on the Roof.
Local gas station are able to charge $5 for a gallon of gas.
No, he's not doing a racist Chinese accent, dude. He's doing Japanese Bernie Sanders, famous Nick Mullen character. No, dude, he's trying to do like, I'm telling you, he's trying to do like a, I'm telling you, he's doing like a Fiddler on the Roof type thing. It is coming across like he's doing like a Mandarin. But he's trying to do like Yiddish.
Charge you slightly more for a gallon of milk thanks to inflation. Why
But it is turning into Mandarin. This is so funny. Oh my God, yeah. That's so funny. Yeah. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Cannot Joe Biden simply relieve all credit card debt and fart rainbows?
I don't want to do it because I don't have my Asian audience. My percentage is really, really low. Okay. So I'm not trying to fuck that up right now.
Clearly, he has the constitutional. If you at your local gas station are able to charge $5 for a gallon of gas, well, then Joe Biden can mandate that everyone simply use horse manure to power their cars forever.
Asian here, don't do it. Fuck. I was waiting for one Asian chatter to be like, do it. Do it, pussy.
Obviously.
Bro, I am not giving you the car for this. You don't want me to do an Asian Bernie Sanders, like Mandarin Bernie Sanders? Like, I do the Japanese one all the time, but I'm trying to do like a Mandarin Bernie. This is why you pick Valorant? Yeah, no, I'm Asian. Asian here, do it, pussy. No, I can't. I don't want to. I'm gonna get canceled. I'm gonna get canceled. I want to so bad though. Hold on, I'm gonna mute my microphone and do it. Okay. It's actually not good. It's actually not good. I got it out of my system. It's actually not good. I had to hear it. I had to hear myself say it because what do I always say? If you're going to do an accent of people who have like been historically colonized, you have to do it well. You have to do it well or else it's racist. And I can't do it well. So I'm not going to do it.
The fact that this is considered an intelligent human being on the left demonstrates how unintelligent our political discourse is, because this is basic, stupid nonsense. It's nonsense. It's fairness, though. It's fairness. I hope you enjoyed that clip from The Ben Shapiro Show.
No, we didn't.
Oh, would you like me to park your car?
Oh. If you do culturally insensitive Chinese accents. Oh, is this the Steven Crowder photo? Oh, worse. Except his are good. Nick Mullen literally falls in the category. I don't know who that guy is, to be fair. I don't know. What is he, a podcast guest or the host or something? I think he's a producer or something. But remember what I said. Mandarin Bernie Sanders has nothing on Indonesian Obama. What the fuck? Oh, no. As a classic. Oh, he produces the Adam Friedland show? Okay, anyway, well, I don't know anything about Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins. I don't know anything about that guy, but I'll just say this. If I knew what his accents sounded like, and if they were good, at least, hypothetically speaking, if his accents were good, technically it would fall in line with the not racist because it's good the part. Do you understand? Have you seen this Oz ad from the Armenian National Committee? Oh my God, really?
Pennsylvania Republican Senate candidate Mehmet Oz still won't renounce his Turkish citizenship. He spent years serving in the Turkish military. He's paid millions by Turkey's national airline. And he's cozy with Turkey's authoritarian leader, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who has all but turned Turkey into a theocracy. That's why it's so alarming that Mehmet Oz is a member of the Diyanet Mosque. Unlike traditional mosques, Diyanet is directly funded and operated by the Turkish regime.
Yeah, Diyanet. Yeah, Turkey, which is supposedly a country that has laicite, still has a religious ministry. Fun fact. He's talking about the religious ministry.
Unlike traditional mosques, Diyanet is directly funded and operated by the Turkish regime.
He's just like the Turkish government. Diyanet is the Turkish government.
Why would a Turkish citizen who served in the Turkish military, is paid millions by Turkey's national airline, is close with the Turkish dictator, and attends the Turkish theocracy's government ministry, want to be a United States Senator? Mehmet Oz is too dangerous to be in the U.S. Senate.
Have you seen one person John Fetterman follows on TikTok? Have you seen the one person John Fetterman follows on TikTok? No. I mean, this ad fucking sucks, kind of. Like, they're trying to say he's doing fifth column, like, you know, they're trying to say he's doing fifth column when he's just literally the most out-of-touch American dickhead on the planet. Like, this works because it's Turkey, and, like, you know, it's popping to be anti-Turkey. Yeah, good luck. Make this about Israel. Go on. Come on. Make one ad like this about Israel. Come on. I want to see it. I want to see I just want to see it. I want to see, like, how many congresspersons you can make an ad like this about Israel. How would that work out? You think you could do that? I'm just saying, could you do that? No, you can't. You can't do that. That's the point. Damn, does hit you in the feels? I mean, yeah, it's a little fucked up because it's literally just... It is a little fucked up, yes. Do you understand why I would personally... a person who despises Dr. Oz, by the way, Mehmet Oz, who fucking sucks. Do you understand why even I would look at this and go, okay, well... You know, you're just basically saying, like, oh yeah, he's fucking Turkish, so his allegiances lie with the Turks. It's just anti-Turkish, which is, I mean, look, it's fine. Who gives a fuck, right? But a little ridiculous.
Pennsylvania, reject Mehmet Oz in 2022.
Yeah, pay for the Armenian National Committee of America. The only thing that can make Armenians not vote conservative, run a Turk. Glad the Featherman campaign didn't produce it and hasn't done stuff like this. There's enough to attack Oz without weird xenophobia. Yeah, I mean, it's so fucking weird. It's just like, you know, it is fucked up. Straight up like that. It is fucked up. Hassan is a Turkish fuckboy who's been sent to steal all of our women. He's paid by the largest corporation on earth to spew the leftist propaganda and hasten the degeneracy of the nation. Yeah, except I'm literally doing fifth column style infiltration in American society to serve the top of the hour ad break. That's where my allegiances are. At the top of the hour, you get a 60-second ad break. And then I tell you even that you can avoid those ads by subscribing for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get one free Prime subscription a month. Okay, that's how you do it. Twitch Prime is literally free. Mitch McConnell's neck cussy. Thank you for the Thank you for the 5. Get the subs, allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads, by the way. Here's the 1-minute ad break now. Yeah, this is the actual ad that they should have run, which is a much better ad. Thank you for the Jaipo. I love this this ad's so stupid. You fuck with Armenian women? What kind of fucking dumb question is that, dude? Of course. Like I don't have any biases. You're so wrong, man. Or right. I don't know. I'm currently experiencing an ad break. See you soon. You guys kind of understand why that's like a little fucking insane, right? That ad itself. Especially because like it's like the same energy as the Daily Beast article that were like, dude, Mehmet Oz is like supporting Turkish racist nationalists or whatever. And then I found out after doing like a little bit of cursory, just looking at it for even a fucking second. Oh, he got it. He got the car. He was supposed to show me. He was supposed to drive it to me. I don't know why he didn't do it. What did he fucking take a photo with the boat that brought it in or something from Japan? Should I have made him buy the other one? I feel bad. What was the other one? What was the other one, chat? Does anyone have it? Does anyone remember it? This shit is ugly as fuck. What did you do? This shit looks like a Russian-made car. Oh no, this is what he wanted. He wanted that, not the fire truck one, the one with the ladder. What was it called? What was look, he has a Vespa. Okay, he has a scooter, he has a Vespa, and I basically got this I was supposed to choose his car for him. Okay, I was supposed to choose his car for him. And I chose this one because it kind of like went in line with his Vespa. It was like it looked like basically the Armenians get a free pass to shit on right-wing Turks all day long in my book. They should ask him if he believes the Armenian genocide happened or not. Valid. They should do that. That would actually fucking tank him probably. He probably wouldn't have a consistent position on it. And that would fucking ruin him. You're absolutely correct on that. I agree. But the idea that like that would actually make him look good if he was like, no, I do believe the Armenian genocide happened. It's kind of fucked up that you even asked me that question. If he said that, then it would be like, it would literally make the person asking that question look worse. But it's okay, bro. Wait for a Russian American to run for senator. But there are. That's what I'm saying. America is a fucking melting pot, dude. America is a fucking melting pot. Like, to be honest, conservatives have been saying that about TYT and Cenk for years. Bro, they say that about me. They fucking say that about me. I've never denied the Armenian genocide. Like, I've never done that. And they fucking say that about me too. But like I said, America is... There's a difference between a Russian American and a dual citizen running for Senate. Okay, that's why I literally said, do this for Israel. Do this for any other country where where someone could have dual citizenship. Okay, not a single one of you motherfuckers can actually find the car that I wanted to get for Ludwig. I guess you guys weren't really watching him while I was doing this. One morning before I started the stream, I Ludwig asked me to pick his car for him. Okay. And I guess you weren't. Anyway, I just found something else, and I just posted a different one. Pick the Pokemon Mini Coupe? No. I picked this one because this one looks like his Vespa, and he can put his Vespa in the back. Okay, do you understand? That's the one I picked. No, not... Man, no, not the... Okay, shut the fuck up. You guys are just, like, trying to be funny. All right, whatever. I picked this one for him instead of instead of the one that I could have chosen for him. It was like this one. It was like a fire truck. There were two cars that I would have rather chosen, but I felt bad. He just texted me. I was gonna get him the fire truck, and he was gonna buy it. Oh, it was this one, yeah. Oh yeah, that was the one. Yeah, this was the one. Bildiğin Aygaz kamyonu seçmiş abi. No, he wanted that. Chatters. He wanted a fucking truck like this. Okay, he wanted like either like a Daihatsu or Isuzu. Like he wanted like a Japanese car from Japan, and those were the options. And out of all those options, I chose the one that was actually like... Wait, what? He said the K truck. Yeah. It's a K truck. They fucking rule. Anyway, this is so random. We're not doing this anymore. Okay, shut the fuck up. No one knows what the fuck we're talking about. I don't have enough Lud heads in here. I don't have enough Lud buds in this community. So everyone is just like confused as to why we're talking about this. And very clearly, most people don't know what the fuck's going on here. So we're going to get back to the fucking point at hand. The conversation that we were having. Abortion. Trigger laws are in effect in numerous states around the country. But before we get to the abortion, let's talk about the abortion from Fed Chair Powell. Reducing inflation is likely to require a sustained period of below-trend growth. Moreover, there will likely be some softening of the labor market conditions.
I have discussed broad topics, such as the ever-changing structure of the economy and the challenges of conducting monetary policy under high uncertainty. Today, my remarks will be shorter, my focus narrower, and my message more direct. The Federal Open Market Committee's overarching focus right now is to bring inflation back down to our 2% goal. Price stability is the responsibility of the Federal Reserve and serves as the bedrock of our economy. Without price stability, the economy does not work for anyone. In particular, without price stability, we will not achieve a sustained period of strong labor market conditions that benefit all. The burdens of high inflation fall heaviest on those who are least able to bear them. Restoring price stability will take some time and requires using our tools forcefully to bring demand and supply into better balance. Reducing inflation is likely to require a sustained period of below-trend growth. Moreover, there will very likely be some softening of labor market conditions. While higher interest rates, slower growth, and softer labor market conditions will bring down inflation.
Okay, let me describe what he's saying. He's saying we need to have like a little baby recession so that people get fired. Softer labor market conditions means the labor market is tight. When the labor market is tight, that means labor actually has a better negotiation, a better bargaining power. Okay? So what he's saying is we want to make sure that the economy doesn't grow so that jobs start firing people, some of you motherfuckers, so that you are more hungry to take on whatever fucking job with whatever shitty work conditions, with whatever lack of adequate pay, and then you will, you will rejoin the workplace in a softer labor market. Okay? What is this, Ludwig exposed?
Oh, I'm so hungry. When's the last time you guys ate a booger?
Oh, dude. All the time.
Dead ass?
This actually hurts my feelings a little bit because Ludwig will probably always play with Myth, but he'll never play with me because I'm not good at Valorant. And he cares about ranking. He cares about maintaining his rank.
They will also bring some pain to households and businesses. These are the unfortunate costs of reducing inflation. But a failure to restore price stability would mean far greater pain. The U.S. economy is clearly slowing from the historically high growth rates of 2021, which reflected the reopening of the economy following the pandemic recession. While the latest economic data have been mixed, in my view, our economy continues to show strong underlying momentum. The labor market is particularly strong, but it is clearly out of balance, with demand for workers substantially exceeding the supply of available workers. Inflation is running well above 2%, and high inflation has continued to spread through the economy. While the lower inflation readings for July are certainly welcome, a single month's improvement falls far short of what the committee will need to see before we are confident that inflation is moving down. So, we are moving our policy stance purposefully.
Why don't they just start forcing people to go back to work at gunpoint? Actually. Just start forcing people to work at gunpoint. It's pretty obvious that, like, they're singling out a tight labor market for the only reason for inflation now. I like that they went full mask off. Like, they're not even talking about COVID, the disruption in the supply chain. It's just about the tight labor market and the labor demand completely outpacing the interest in providing labor supply. I mean, that's crazy to me. Bro, please stop linking the Ludwig clips, man. I get it. Okay, it's fine. We'll look at it later. I'm literally in the middle of fucking political commentary. We're talking about the Fed, and you just like want me to sidestep away from that and like watch a Ludwig video, which I will. I love Ludwig. Okay, I'll watch his videos all day, every day. But like, can I just go through this without you fucking constantly spamming the same clip? Okay, it's okay.
To a level that will be sufficiently restrictive to return inflation to 2%. At our most recent meeting in July, the FOMC raised the target range for the federal funds rate to 2.25% to 2.5%, which is in the Summary of Economic Projections range of estimates of where the federal funds rate is projected to settle in the longer run. In current circumstances, with inflation running far above 2% and the labor market extremely tight, estimates of longer run neutral are not a place to pause or stop. July's increase in the target range was the second 75 basis point increase in as many meetings, and I said then that another unusually large increase could be appropriate at our next meeting. We are now about halfway through the intermeeting period. Our decision at the September meeting will depend on the totality of the incoming data and the evolving outlook. At some point, as the stance of monetary policy tightens further, it likely will become appropriate to slow the pace of increases. Restoring price stability.
Insane that we accept the system where 6% of people have to be unemployed for it to keep functioning. Laborers get one crumb of power, and we're like, if it's all fucked, not supply chain breakdowns and high gas price because of OPEC. No, of course not. I mean, they did mention that, but they've completely dropped it now because Dark Brandon stole the orb and fixed the OPEC situation. Okay, and gas prices started going down magically. Okay, He literally said, Saudi Arabia, I'll suck your cock. And then he turned around and said, hey, American gas producers, figure it out. Or I'm coming for you. And then they figured it out. Turns out, you could eat away at some of the profits, I guess, without it being super harmful to the economy overall and lower gas prices. But first coherent leftist take on why inflation is scary and bad, but Powell is worse. 98% of people getting what is, in effect, a 7% pay cut could be theoretically worse than 2% more people with no jobs. Inflation is bad. It's just our capital-friendly method of addressing it by increasing unemployment and reducing worker power is cruel and ineffective. Yeah. That's a really good take by Adam H. Johnson. It is preposterous, though, as he also correctly points out, that the only fucking way that we can deal with inflation is by starving 2% of the fucking workforce, by firing them, or, reducing growth so that there is like enough competition within the labor pool for all of these jobs that are available. Like, it's basically just saying you have to fucking work for your job. It's the Harvard economist attitude of nobody wants to work anymore, but bared out in I don't know what the term would be here. Bared out in the way that the Fed operates. You've read that tweet 8 times and you still don't understand it? There is no way to increase supply to meet demand. The only way to deal with inflation is to cut demand. Yes, because forcing an increase in the supply at a time of corporate consolidation is not going to work, because it's in the best interest of the corporations to actually fucking reduce growth a little bit and to punish the labor force so they can get back to fucking work in the terms that they want. Okay? That's what the fuck's happening. Because any kind of increase in supply that goes beyond subsidies, okay, which we already offer to every fucking business pretty much, any kind of control in the supply side would mean communism, okay? That's what it is. It's communism. Oh my God, it's communism. It's communism. We can't do that. We can't do that, even though we are doing that. And if there's no profit in producing more and the government is forcing you to, and the government's not going to force you to produce more, then you have to shut off the other side. Shut off the demand side. Shut the demand side off. Businesses don't make as much money as they could anymore. They can't grow as much as they would because they can't get new loans as easy. Loans are way more expensive. When the interest rates are higher, all of a sudden, growth is stagnant. Okay? You force the economy to cool down. What happens when the economy cools down? Businesses decide to close up shop if people don't have a lot of money to purchase shit. Okay? Businesses slowly but surely start to either close up or make layoffs in order to meet the now lessened demand. Okay? And then when they're actually fucking firing a bunch of people, all of a sudden you now have a labor force that is at 6% unemployment. When you're at 6% unemployment, that 2% of additional, unemployed people are way more desperate and are starving for any kind of fucking job that they can get. Okay? And now they're in a way worse position overall. They can't bargain. They don't have a bargaining power. They don't have a bargaining position whatsoever because the labor market is no longer as tight. That is the most effective means of trying to lower wages across the board for everybody. Does that make sense? Do you guys get it? It's a catalyst for strategic wage slavery. Yes. Well, capitalism operates on the basis of wage slavery. And by the way, I mean, Jerome Powell is saying this. Like, he's literally saying this. When he says we need a softer labor market, that's what he's saying. He's saying we need people to shut the fuck up and get back to work with with shittier workplace conditions and lower pay. Because this is just not working in the way it is currently. Because labor power is antithetical to capitalism.
It will likely require maintaining a restrictive policy stance for some.
And yes, the other part of it is, of course, the Fed has no other tools to fight inflation. Better tools are available to Congress. The Fed is in a double bind. Your favorite. Yes. I have talked about this so many fucking times over at this point that I don't know how much more I can repeat the same thing over and over again. But yes, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And the Fed is a hammer. The Fed is now, unfortunately, as a consequence of like obstructionist policies from the Republican Party and the way that Congress works, the Fed is the only like independent entity that can do something about inflation. It's the only one that can combat inflation, is what people would think. That's not the case. Obviously, Congress could do something about inflation. There are deflationary mechanisms that Congress could set, higher taxes, price checks, even if you want to go super communist. Okay? There are other tools. But it's virtually impossible to combat inflation on the Congress side, especially when you don't have a filibuster-proof majority. Even if you did have a fucking filibuster-proof majority, it would still be difficult. The Inflation Reduction Act is going to take a very long time. And the inflation reductionary parts of the Inflation Reduction Act, which was a budget reconciliation, so it had its own limitations, is not exactly as inflation reductionary as the name of the bill would say. I think that's just good politics rather than good policy. Okay? I mean, it is good policy, but not directly for reducing inflation. So the only thing that you can do, price check doesn't work. I'm from Venezuela where they have implemented that over 15 years. And yeah, dude, you're right. Yes, Venezuela, a country that has been eviscerated by both the mishandling of its own currency, and also America's routine involvement in Venezuelan affairs, is comparable to the largest hegemonic power on the planet. Bro, do you think Venezuela and America are the same? America does whatever the fuck it wants. As a matter of fact, it's doing whatever the fuck it wants to Venezuela right now. Shut the fuck up. So basically, the feds will increase loan interest rates and so on to suffocate businesses into firing people, leading to more people being unemployed, hence reducing inflation. Am I getting this fucked up thing right? Yeah, to a certain degree, yes. Basically.
Time. The historical record cautions strongly against prematurely loosening policy. Committee participants' most recent individual projections from the June SEP showed the median federal funds rate running slightly below 4%.
America engages in price controls for agriculture right now? Yes, of course it does. Of course it does. It also engages in price controls with oil and gas too. It engages in price controls with pretty much everything. Okay? Every industry in America, to a certain degree, is subsidized. What is this? You're being paranoid? Have more faith in our corporate overlords, so we should use targeted starvation? As in the very thing we criticize Stalin so harshly for? Dude, we have nothing to do with Venezuela. Never have. This guy's really funny.
Through the end of 2023. Participants will update their projections at the September meeting. Our monetary policy deliberations and decisions build on what we've learned about inflation dynamics, both from the high and volatile inflation of the 1970s and 1980s, and from the low and stable inflation of the last quarter century. And in particular, we're drawing on three important lessons that I'll highlight.
Okay, I don't care. It's coming.